Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick tutorial on study number 1 and the things you'll need to know to master everything that is, to master the piece. So the first thing I want to go over very quickly are the chord charts. Notice there are dots inside them as opposed to numbers. The program that I use doesn't allow me to use numbers, which is why they're dots. But luckily for us, we have other things that we can use to find out where to place our fingers. So let's get started. Let's talk about those numbers. Beside the notes, you're going to see some numbers, and those numbers are going to be for the hand that you use to press down on the strings. So if you're right-handed, it's going to be for your left hand. If you're left-handed, it's going to be for your right hand. So you'll see, let's talk about the bass note first. You'll see a number 2 beside that whole note. So you're going to use your middle finger to press down on that, and that would correspond with the lower 2 in the tablature. The note above that, there's a number 3 beside that note, so you're going to use your third finger to press down on that note, and in tablature that corresponds to the 2 above the other 2. And then you'll see a number 1 beside the next note, and that corresponds to the tablature, the 1 in tablature. So you're going to use your index finger, your first finger, to press down on that. So anytime you see those small numbers, those are going to be what they tell you to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger, which is your pinky. Okay? All right, so let's go to the right hand, or the hand that you use to play the strings, to pluck the strings. You're going to see 4 letters, P-I-M-A, and each of those letters represent a finger on the hand. So P stands for thumb, I stands for index, M stands for middle, and A stands for ring finger. So you're going to start by playing 2 notes together. You're going to play the thumb, you're going to use your thumb to play the bass note, and then you're going to use your index finger to play the note above that, and you're going to play them together, followed by the middle finger for the next note on the first fret, and then your ring finger to play that first string open. So there's that, okay? All right, let's talk about, let's see, the time signature. Time signature. In this piece, you have a time signature of 4/4. So all we need to know right now is the top number, which is a 4, means you're going to count to 4. So in every measure, there are 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in this piece, we are actually playing what are called 8th note triplets. So for each of these 4 counts, you're going to play 3 8th notes, which is not normal. Normally it's 2. But that's why they're called triplets, because there are going to be 3 8th notes where there should normally be 2 8th notes. So on the first count, you play 1, 2, 3. On the second count, 1, 2, 3. The third count, 1, 2, 3. Fourth count, 1, 2, 3. 8th note triplets. Okay? All right, let's see what else do I have on my list here. We just went over that. Let's go over the 2 voices. So you're playing 2 voices in the study. You have a top voice, which is playing all of the arpeggios. And then you have a bottom voice, which is literally only playing 1 note, that whole note. That's the bass note, okay? Really important. When you play that bass note, you have to let that note ring until you've finished the measure. So when you start the piece, when you're on A minor and you play, that note that you play with your thumb, you can't touch that string again, that 4th string. You can't touch that string, because if you do, the note will die out, and that will be technically incorrect. You can't lift your middle finger or your second finger off of that string, because if you do that, then again, the note will be cut off, and that would be, again, technically incorrect. So you need that note to hold all the way until you get to the next measure. And that applies to pretty much every measure. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, let's see, what else do I have here? Let's go to measure 5. On measure 5, you have a bar, and there are a couple of ways to find out, to notice that you're barring. One, the easiest way is to just look at your chord chart. Here we have a chord chart. Normally it's going to be a line, but in this case, again, because of the program that I use, I can't create a line. Those 2 dots are connected by this arc. So that's a bar chord, okay? You'll also have a Roman numeral followed by a small number, and those two numbers are telling you a bar as well. So the Roman numeral 1 means you're going to bar the first fret. The small number 2 means you're going to bar the first two strings. Really simple. And then the line, that dotted line that goes to the end of the measure, that just tells you how long you need to hold that bar for. So for that entire measure, you have to have that bar down. If that wasn't enough, if you look at the actual fingering for the left hand, you'll see two of these notes both have a number 1 beside them. So that also is a dead giveaway that, okay, there are two separate notes and they're both being pressed down by the first finger. So that's obviously going to be a bar. Okay, tablature doesn't usually have that, but sometimes you can kind of deduce that it's a bar because if you look at the tablature, you'll see two notes on the first fret. So okay, if they're both on the first fret, I'm probably gonna have to bar. Okay, all right, moving right along. Let's go to the DC al coda. Okay, if you don't know what this is, I'll explain it to you really quickly. DC al coda means it's instructions and it's telling you to do something specific. So DC means da capo. Da capo means from the head, and we interpret that as to the beginning. We go back to the beginning. So DC al coda means go back to the beginning. And then the al coda portion means you're going to go back to the beginning and then you're going to play until you've reached the coda. The coda is a little symbol, looks like a plus sign with a circle going inside of it, or a circle with a plus sign going inside of it. Once you've reached that coda, you're going to go to the next coda. In this particular piece, the next coda is on measure 8. So you're going to play, when you start over, you're going to play the first measure, and then the second measure, and then you're going to go to measure 8 seamlessly without stopping. It's as if measure 8 is directly connected to measure 2, if that makes any sense. And we're just about done here. Let's see. At the bottom, at the end of the piece, at the end of the study, there's going to be a change in the picking pattern. Okay, so the entire time that you're playing this, you're going to play thumb and index together, followed by your middle finger, and then your ring finger. Okay, at the very, very end, the pattern changes. So that's going to be something you want to watch out for. So just follow basically their instructions, to be honest. Follow the instructions, follow the letters, and they will tell you which finger to use to play those notes. And then at the end, you'll be done by playing your last two notes with your thumb. Okay? All right. Last thing, on this same measure at the end, you're going to see a word, an abbreviated word, RIT. RIT stands for Ritardando. Ritardando, I'm assuming that's how you would say it. Basically, it means you slow down. Okay, just slow down until you get to the end. It doesn't mean until you get to the end, but it just means slow down. Okay, but it's the end, so you're just going to slow down until the end. At the very, very end, you're going to see a symbol. That symbol is called a fermata. A fermata just means you're going to hold that note. Depending on, to be honest, depending on the time period that the piece was written in, it can vary as to what it means, but the general term is to just hold on to that note. For the very least, for its full duration, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, hold it for longer than its full duration. It's a pause. And that's going to be the end, as denoted, I should say, by the final thick bar line. And that's really it. If you have any questions about this piece, just make sure to let me know, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. All right? Enjoy. Hope you learned something and get to practicing.